Tonight, a major drone wave toward Moscow and new Russian strikes in Ukraine. Here is what we know.
The latest Ukraine war update begins with a sharp escalation in long-range drone and missile strikes, and with conflicting claims that are important to separate from confirmed facts. Russian authorities say Ukraine sent hundreds of drones toward the Moscow region during the latest wave. Ukrainian authorities, meanwhile, report deadly Russian strikes in the Kharkiv region and elsewhere. This report focuses on what credible outlets say happened, what remains unverified, and why the drone war is reaching farther from the front line. Updated August 19, 2026. First, a quick note on how to read this story. In a fast-moving war, initial numbers often come from the governments involved. Those figures may later change, and independent confirmation can be difficult. So when we cite a drone total, an interception count, a claim of damage, or a claimed military objective, we will identify who made the claim. The broader pattern, however, is clear from multiple reports. Both Russia and Ukraine are using long-range systems far beyond the immediate front, and civilians in both countries are living with the consequences. Russian authorities described the latest wave as one of the largest drone attacks directed toward the Moscow region since the invasion began. Associated Press reporting, carried by PBS NewsHour, said Russia's defense ministry claimed that air defenses intercepted 791 Ukrainian drones across multiple regions overnight. Moscow Mayor Sergei Sobyanin said more than 600 drones flew toward the Moscow region and that 180 were shot down there. Those are Russian official figures. They are not independently verifiable in full from public reporting. The same reporting said officials in the Moscow region reported injuries and damage to private homes. A fire was also reported at a Wildberries warehouse in an industrial zone. Ukraine has said that the retailer's logistics network supports Russia's military. Moscow disputes that allegation. The company said the facility suffered limited damage. This is the central point. The story is not simply a claim about a record number of drones. It is a sign of a deepening contest between mass aerial attacks and air defense capacity. The Guardian also reported that Russian figures should be treated with caution, while describing a significant fire and broad disruption in the Moscow area. For Russia, the immediate effects are both physical and psychological. When drones reach the capital region, local authorities must close airspace, deploy air defense resources, respond to debris, and manage public concern. The aim of Ukraine's long-range campaign, according to Ukrainian officials and analysts cited by major outlets, is to put pressure on military logistics and the wider Russian war economy. But the available public reporting does not establish every reported target or every claimed effect. That distinction matters. A drone attack can disrupt activity even when the physical damage appears limited. It can also force air defenses to operate across a wide area. At the same time, a reported launch count or interception count does not by itself tell us the number of drones that reached intended targets. This video will not show unverified viral clips purporting to depict the latest strikes. Instead, the visual record uses labeled archival material and source-cleared footage. The same cycle of long-range strikes is hitting communities in Ukraine. PBS NewsHour and Al Jazeera, citing Ukrainian officials, reported that a Russian missile strike on the settlement of Pechenihi in the Kharkiv region killed at least 10 people and injured others, with homes and civilian sites damaged. Those are preliminary Ukrainian official reports, and the casualty information can change as rescue and identification efforts continue. The wider civilian toll is also a major part of the story. The Institute for the Study of War cited the United Nations Human Rights Monitoring Mission in Ukraine, which reported at least 437 civilians killed and 2,610 injured in Ukraine during July 2026. The Institute noted that missile and long-range drone strikes were a leading cause of reported civilian casualties. These figures underscore why a discussion of drones cannot be separated from civilian protection, air defenses, emergency response, and recovery. Drones now shape the war from the front line to the rear. They are used for reconnaissance, air defense, attack, logistics, and damage assessment. That does not make every drone claim equally reliable, but it helps explain why the technology has become central to this conflict. The Institute for the Study of War assessed on August 17th that Russia is expanding long-range drone launch capacity near the Ukrainian and Belarusian borders. It also reported Ukrainian damage assessment claims related to an August 16th strike in Rostov Oblast. Those assessments are not the same as independent confirmation of every effect. They show how each side is trying to improve its ability to strike deeper and more frequently. The real footage in this report includes archival, clearly dated examples of Ukraine's air defense and drone environment. It does not show the August 16th through 18th attacks. A February clip credited to the Ukrainian Air Force shows an F-16 intercepting a Shahed-type drone. A March clip credited to the Ukrainian General Staff shows a Ukrainian FPV drone striking a Russian Ka-52 helicopter. Both are licensed for reuse through Creative Commons attribution, and both are labeled as archival context. On the ground, the front line remains difficult to read. The Institute for the Study of War said neither Russian nor Ukrainian forces made confirmed advances on August 16th and 17th in its assessment, although it recorded continued combat activity and competing claims in several sectors. That does not mean the fighting has stopped. It means that control can be contested, reports can conflict, and a map of the war should not be reduced to one day's headlines. The air war has a different rhythm. Long-range strikes can occur hundreds of miles from the front and can reshape the political conversation even when no territory changes hands. Civilian safety is often the most immediate concern. For viewers following developments, the most useful indicators are confirmed damage assessments, official emergency updates, verified imagery, and multiple independent sources, not a single dramatic post online. There is another reason to be careful with headline numbers in this conflict. A large reported total can describe several different things at once: drones launched, drones detected, drones intercepted, or drones reported over a broad group of regions. It does not automatically establish damage on the ground. The same is true of early claims about a particular warehouse, refinery, base, or community. Responsible coverage needs a sequence of evidence: official emergency reports, independently verifiable imagery where available, credible on-the-ground reporting, and assessments that distinguish what is known from what is alleged. That is why this update does not use social media clips said to show the August 16th through 18th attacks. Even when a video appears convincing, its date, location, and original source can be difficult to establish. The footage we have used instead is clearly dated archival material with compatible reuse terms. It is included to explain the wider drone environment, not to substitute for evidence about the latest incidents. The long-range campaign also does not erase the importance of the front line. The Associated Press reported that the roughly 1,250-kilometer front remains heavily shaped by drones and ground robots, and that neither side is making rapid, decisive battlefield progress. ISW's August 17th assessment likewise recorded active fighting and competing territorial claims, while noting no confirmed advances for either side on the preceding 2 days. Taken together, that points to a conflict in which air defenses, logistics, communications, and civilian resilience can matter even when the map itself appears to move slowly. For civilians, the practical concern is immediate rather than abstract. Warnings, shelters, emergency crews, and reliable information can make a difference during long-range strikes. All coverage will continue to prioritize verified updates and the documented humanitarian impact over viral footage or unsupported claims. In the coming days, 3 questions matter most. First, whether officials release clearer, independently supported assessments of damage in Russia after the latest drone wave. Second, whether Russia sustains or expands its long-range strike pattern against Ukrainian communities. And third, whether the expanding drone campaign changes the balance between air defense resources, logistics, and civilian protection. The most responsible conclusion is also the simplest. Long-range strikes are becoming a defining feature of this phase of the war. The latest reports show a high-volume Ukrainian drone wave toward Russia and deadly Russian strikes in Ukraine. The precise scale and effect of many individual claims remain contested. The human consequences do not. We will continue to track verified developments, label claims clearly, and avoid treating viral footage as proof. For more source-led updates, subscribe to TrendProof.
The scale of many claims remains contested. We will continue to track verified developments. Subscribe to TrendProof.